Good evening. I can't see you. Very bright. Okay. People often say that after they retire, they'd like to be a volunteer in the hospital, in MRT station, or in Flower Expo. So anyone who has a retired family or friend and be a volunteer, please raise your hand. Yeah? Okay. Good, great job. Okay. So people say this because volunteer work takes time, which they'll have plenty of when they are old enough to retire. But must a volunteer look like this? I know a person who began volunteering at a younger age. When the girl was 17, she was sent to the Ronald McDonald House, where she played a song with a flute and put on a grand drama show with her friend. And seeing the smiles on the faces of those children, I realized that for the first time in my life, I had the ability to help, to give, and to volunteer. Yes, the girl was me. And I guess 17 is about your age. Okay, so think about yourself at this age, drowning in test preparation, clubs, homeworks, trying to get enough sleep, trying to get more attention from the girl or boy you like. Picture yourself studying day and night for the one-time entrance exam for a local college, or busy writing pages and pages of essays for overseas programs. Would you volunteer? And when I enrolled in the dental school of National Taiwan University, I found spare time and spent it volunteering. I went to the nursing homes to take care of the elderly during the semesters, and held summer and winter camps for Aboriginal kids during the vacations. And what they had given me was so much more than what I could learn from school. But when you are busy taking anatomy and physiology courses with top med students, and carving dozens of plaster teeth for dental anatomy class, would you volunteer? After finishing the college, I decided to pursue my specialty training and master degree in Columbia University in New York. And the work, as you can imagine, was very hard. But I continued devoting myself into volunteering. But what could a young graduate student do to volunteer in NYC? I read storybooks for kids in the hospital waiting room. And when you find yourself having the privilege to study at this top-notch IBD dental school with skyrocketing tuition and the whole class full of talent, which you really cannot afford to relax. And when there is finally a break, all you want to do is experience the amazing city of New York. So, would you volunteer? I guess everyone has a different answer, but normally you wouldn't. But the girl I know, she did. I guess she must have hit her head and out of her mind. And I think this is really a bad habit for her to constantly busy herself. Have you ever watched your chances fly by? Have you ever encountered something that hit especially close to your heart, your compassion of love, and then you abandon the thought? Have you ever thought about how if you didn't seize the moment right then and there, you will one day find yourself old and looking back in your memories, regretting that lost opportunity? I guess my real question to you is, if nobody forces you, would you be a volunteer? After she came back from New York as a working professional dentist, at last, she still kept that bad habit. Working part-time in the clinic, she started volunteering in the emergency room when she is off duty, okay? And it was said that she was the first doctor ever to volunteer in the ER. She also went to the children's cancer ward where the kids were suffering from the intense chronic pain and the worst of emotional despair. She tried to make those kids happy by reading them stories and talk to their parents. She also learned to twist the balloons and taught herself to pull off some basic magic technique and hoping that one day she could use the magic to cure them. And then she started up her own dental clinic and still went to the hospital for volunteer work 3 times a week. It was a Sunday night when the emergency room was suddenly flooded with patients. The girl quickly grabbed a chart and led a patient to the dental treatment room for his non-stop bleeding. His tooth had been extracted 2 days ago and had been bleeding out of his mouth since. Before the treatment room, there were already 5 people in the queue waiting for the drained and fatigued resident doctor who was on duty that night. If you were me, would you be eager to wear your surgical gown and just stop the bleeding for him? I feel that I wanted to do more, which I truly can as a professional dentist. But here comes the question. How was I able to do this? First of all, my towering student loans and mortgage were still stacking, and my 2 kids were just around 10. Second, I have a young career of the dental clinic that I wanted to build up, to nurture, and to grow. Third, where could I find an appropriate volunteer work besides the hospital as a dentist? And should I really do that under my circumstances? If you were put in these choices, you would restore to a predictable routine with a totally reasonable excuse. I am busy. But I am busy can also stop you from achieving your dreams. Okay. So, I think about, okay, I Googled orphanage and the midway house on the internet and sent the following message to 10 of them. I'm Dr. Ching-Ling Hsu. I'm willing to do free dental checkup and oral hygiene instruction for your kids. If you need this, please contact me. And what's next? The reply messages were flooded in. What are we living in? Harry Potter's wizarding room under the stairs? Nope. 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. Time had passed and nobody replied. I guess people thought I was weird. Why not just stay in your clinic and see your patients? Well, they thought I was going nuts, but I refused to believe that there weren't people needing this. So I sent out the same message again, telling them that I meant it. I was sure that no one had done this before, and there's no template to follow. But finally, a message from Daguang Midway House came in to erase my doubt. I even brought 2 assistants with me to show them that we were that serious. And you know what? It's a great success. After that, one message followed by another, with more and more people knowing there's someone doing this. My volunteer plan became a weekly routine. and it received a wide acknowledgement. I taught the kids and the teenagers how to brush their teeth correctly by applying the disclosing agent, which is a detection of dental plaque, on their teeth, and made them brush off the pink solution. I could tell, and they could tell too, if they brushed their teeth thoroughly by checking how many pink stains were left. And most of the time, I would send them back upon the first check and ask them to try harder. And again, they gradually learn how long and delicate should they brush their teeth. And when they looked into the mirror and saw their originally rough yellow teeth became gleaming pearly white, their eyes sparkled with joy. And it was truly touching and inspiring. And one thing continued to bother me. With limited manpower and the equipment, I could do so little. It felt that I was only scratching the surface instead of making a real change. So I Googled volunteer dentists and joined the Taiwan Root Medical Peace Course immediately. With the whole groups of medical professionals, I have a truck full of the instrument at my disposal. Imagine a food truck minus the tacos, minus the fryers, but plus a dental chair. The truck took us to the Aboriginal communities deep in the mountains of Taiwan, where the medical supports were almost inaccessible. Every time we went on a mission, I would get up before the crack of dawn and pack up all the equipment. I was fulfilled and felt that I had a purpose. By providing primary health care and widespread healthcare information, we offer temporary relief for rural areas and build foundations for sustainable healthcare system for the future. We expanded and reached out to more. I, as a dentist, could not only perform dental checkup and oral hygiene instructions. Patients with cavities, swellings, and supermobilities due to betel nuts chewing, I could also treat them. Joining TRMPC really took my volunteer journey to a whole new level. By now, I had been to 84 tribes and performed more than 100 sessions of oral hygiene instructions and serving more than 7,000 people in the span of 4 years. So I guess this is my story. From the age of 17, I started to do something and kept doing it ever since. I never knew what's going to happen in the future, and I still don't. I just follow my heart. I never just wait for the opportunity. I take action every time something comes up in my mind. And I learn tremendously all the way through. And I begin to feel that I am making a difference. For sure, I'm so much busier, but aren't I always? The girl always been a busy bee. I kept thinking, how could I make my service more efficient? Instead of going door to door, wearing myself out, I learned simple filming and editing techniques and began to make oral hygiene instruction vlogs. And this is my YouTube channel, Ching-Ling Hsu开口笑. I widened my platform and finally break the limitation of time and space.
谢谢收看牙到100，请您是教你好好刷牙，牙齿就可以用到100岁哦。
And there have been over 8 million views of all my videos. People I've never met living far away in Hong Kong, China, the US, Canada were telling me that they finally learned how to take care of their teeth correctly by watching my videos. No one can predict the future, but one thing I'm sure about is the future is full of surprise. If someone is empowered with purposes and happiness. And if you hold on to a belief, somehow a road, the right path will surface. I promise you this. If I took those excuses as I'm busy or I don't have the resources, I would now be a hard-working dentist in my clinic, which is good, which is nothing wrong about it. Except there would be a part of me seeing the smiles of the kids in the cancer ward, or feeling the joy of the most dedicated Aboriginals in the mountains. That part of me would be blank and empty. Little by little, the void from that emptiness would eventually consume me. To this day, I keep myself awake at night thinking, if I could do more, if I could just do more, what would I do? And if you could do more, what would you do? Here is my advice. Number 1, take the initiative. I would rather regret on the things I've done than the things I've not. Number 2, break the limit. Our own thoughts and the habituations were the only real limits to our possibilities. Number 3, dream big. The future belongs to someone who dares to dream. So hopefully each day we are becoming more helpful, more gentle, and more humble. Thank you.